Buenos nachos, amigos, and welcome to Hallyujuku, a podcast about East Asian pop culture, where me and Kaz sit and talk about all the things and music and stuff. And I'm Petey Rave, your man with no plan. Here with me, as I mentioned before, my partner in crime, Brandon Cooper, aka King Kaz. How you doing, Kaz?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you, my friend Petey Rave?
I'm doing good. We're here hanging out. We're going to talk about some East Asian pop culture, talking about what's new, what's caught our attention. As we always do, we open up with what's caught our attention since we last gathered, last recorded, or last did an episode. Usually before we do our individual ones, if there's a major one that we should definitely have to talk about, we do. And there is a pretty major release, at least it's for us. And that is the solo debut of one Gong Minzy, formerly of 21, with the song Nina No featuring Flowsick. Yeah, it's a song. Let's talk about it.
It's pretty good. It's.
What are your thoughts?
It's not the greatest. Also, my fucking internet is dying. It's not the greatest, but it's a pretty good song, right? It's pretty standard fare, with a pretty good feature for right now. Like, Flowsick is a pretty good person to have feature on your track right now, because he's pretty hot. And it kind of does it's a good establishing sound, but it's not going to be the thing that makes or break.
Yeah, it's not bad. There's not a lot to complain about other than it's a little flat. It just doesn't really go anywhere. You keep expecting it to kind of come to this moment of you expect it to just kind of explode at some point, or get kind of come to this. There's something to be another level. You expect there to the chorus, or they expect there to be kind of this this hook that brings everything together, or, something. But it just kind of stays middle of the road and doesn't really elevate beyond that.
I guess I don't know. Like I said, I think it's a pretty standard safe song for what it is, and that we've talked about this many a time. This is what you go with when you're trying to either establish or reestablish, right? You go with good and safe, right? And then you use it to test the waters. And like I said, it has all the kind of the things you want, right? It has a pretty good standard beat that you could almost hear any solo artist on. Minzy does her part really well. She shows off her dancing because that's her big thing. There's kind of a little silly, catchy dance that goes with it. And then you have Flowsick, who's really popular right now in kind of, this scene of the cross pop, right? Because this isn't for Korea. This is for people like us, right? This is for the kind of internet-y kids who like K-pop, because that's the only reason you put Flowsick on it. Because if not, you get a boy band rapper feature if you're trying to make it popular in Korea, right?
And there's some other rappers, maybe feature on there, but But yeah, he does a really good job. I think he's the highlight of the song. I think that's basically Flowsick is the highlight of the song. You almost you almost feel like you'd rather it be his song, but I think I understand the wanting to make it safe. I'm also I understand that. I also have the mindset that part of me wanted her, when she finally debuted her first song, to be maybe not a safe song, but a statement song, to kind of make a bold statement right off the bat. of what kind of put yourself out there, make a bold statement, and do something that catches attention, rather than something safe. I don't know. It's two different schools of thought, and I definitely understand kind of playing it safe. But I don't know. Even with playing it safe, I think that song, it could have been more. It could have gone better, but it's not a bad song, and I think it has a lot to going for it, and it makes me hopeful for even for saying all that I said. It's still a lot of what's going on there makes me hopeful for what she has going forward, and what the plans are for her solo efforts going forward, because I think there's a lot to like in there. There's, like you said, there's a lot to like of the sound there, and I think going forward she has things doing. She is on a good path, and I think
I think for Minzy, I don't really think she needs a statement song. I think she needs a song that establishes her brand, right? More than a statement. Like, I think for your next song, you go with a really dance poppy fucking track, right? Like a really cool, not going to get played on radio, but it's going to get played in clubs, and shows off her dancing skills, because that's one of her major things, right? You give her a song that she can really, really dance to, then that in itself kills two birds with one stone. It gives you a really good club banger, and it kind of establishes that, and then it also is kind of a statement in itself without being too over the top. Like, because I think if you do a statement song right out of the gate like that, then you open yourself up to judgment way more in that context of like, what's she really trying to say? And then you just make too much of it, right? I think this is especially coming off the whirlwind and everything else, right? This is a really good track to make people focus on the music, right? Because in the end, that's what we're focused on, right? It's just, even if it's kind of like, oh man, it's kind of, and I wish it was more, like, man, all right, well, I got to see what she's going to do next time, which is a lot of what we say here, just in general. But I think that could kind of be the general statement from a lot of people. And I think that is a better use case than putting out a song that people are going to try to read too much into.
Yeah, I think more than anything, I just wanted to have something a little bit more. I wanted a better.
I think those things are to come. But we've been through this process time and time again. So many people always go safe, and it pays off for them, right? It pays off in dividends, as opposed to people who kind of come out with straight bangers, because then you kind of end up in one hit wonderland, because then you constantly have this thing to live up to rather than what you build up to. But I don't know. We'll see. I think she's gonna do it. I think it's gonna be popular, good shit coming from her down the pipeline, because she already has some other songs that people are super excited about. So
yeah,
it's kind of a wait and see.
But yeah. Speaking of playing it safe, let's get started with what's caught your attention.
All right. I got a couple of things this week. So my girls A-Pink put out a new track. So yeah, I will say this isn't the most exciting track, but I don't think it's meant to be. It's just kind of a really cutesy track with kind of this cutesy thing A-Pink's been doing. Which I haven't been a super duper fan of this thing, but I don't know. It's still a fun track, and if you're in the A-Pink, you'll like it. But it's so like for me personally, it's so slow. And the things I loved about A-Pink is kind of some of their faster upbeat tracks. But I still love their voices on this song, and I think it's a really nice chill beat.
Yeah. There's a lot. I love A-Pink as people, as entertainers, as personalities. Their music hasn't always excited me. But I don't know. There's nothing to complain about this song, which is probably the worst part about it. It's okay. It's a fan song. This is what it is. It was a special fan song created for Easter. And that's what it exists for. It's for the A-Pink fans. This is not This is not trying to reach out to new people. This is not to reach out to mainstream audiences. This is just pure fan service. And if it involves me getting to sit down and stare at A-Pink for a few minutes, I can't complain. Yeah, I mean, not a bad song, but
yeah, it's not bad. Like I said, it's not bad. It's just a pretty super chill song, and it's just not what I'm super duper into from A-Pink, but it's not bad in it.
Yeah,
it's not bad in any context.
The only problem with A-Pink has been that since their fandom is so strong, they don't have to try, so they don't. And you know what? If it ain't, and honestly, if it ain't broke, you don't fix it. Yeah. You know, they pretty much give the fans what they want, even if it's not necessarily something that's going to get them huge mainstream appeal. And even if it's a little, I don't know, bland. But it works for them, and as long as it keeps their careers going, so I get to see them on variety shows and on other things, and I get to follow their personalities, and I'm okay with that. But yeah,
yeah. So moving on to track number 2, is The Boys from Teen Top. Teen Top is hit or miss for me. This is kind of a hit. It kind of has an older K-pop style to this, like kind of musically, which I like. And I really enjoy this song. It's called "Love Is" or "Love's Gone." And I don't know. I didn't know how I was going to feel about it at first, but I enjoyed it. I really liked the beat, and I liked the choreo. And there's a really good dance version of this that if you want to watch that, which I usually watch, is what I go for. And I think they did really well with this track.
Yeah. They had to kind of like they are down a member because with the departure of Eljo. This is establishing themselves, making sure that the transition is smooth. This is probably not probably, but definitely one of the better tracks Teen Top has put out, I think, overall. It's solid, solid boy band K-pop in the best way possible, I think. It works well. It's good. It's got a good, cool beat to it. It kind of takes you back to just quality boy band music. Just boy band music instead of it being necessarily trying to be anything but a quality dance boy band track of attractive boys dancing and looking all serious at the camera. I haven't paid too much attention. I don't know if they decided to bring back the rubbing their lips with their thumb thing, but I'll analyze the video further to see if it is included in the choreo. You gotta get that.
You gotta do that. Yeah.
There hasn't been a lot of that. I don't think so. I haven't been looking. I haven't noticed that.
Yeah, we haven't had that in a while.
Yeah, so I'm bringing that back. Yeah, good stuff from Teen Top. I think this is a good track. So quality boy band stuff. Yeah.
Quality boy band stuff. Speaking of quality boy band stuff, our boy Zico.
Reaching beyond. Actually, speaking of reaching beyond the wheelhouse.
So this was a very unexpected track for me, right? Which I guess wasn't unexpected to anyone else except for me. So all right, whatever, fuck you, internet. But
a couple
everybody was losing their shit over this Zico song. So it's called "She's a Baby." And they would like, I just kept seeing people talking about, oh my God, Zico singing. And I was like, I don't know how I feel about a solo Zico singing track, even though we've had a few of them in the past. Like, I think he has one or two other ones that I've heard. I'm not well versed in Zico's fucking discography, but you know what? I fucking enjoyed it, man. I fucking enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's definitely has a couple things going for it, like in the shifts of the music styles, of like
And it's an all Zico track as well. Let's make that produced by Zico, written by Zico, mixed by Zico. Like it's a Zico track through and through.
Mic'd by Zico.
He did the Foley work. Let me see. Like, no, there's a couple other names in here. He had to get some musicians because I don't think he really plays.
He has his He has the people he collaborates with as far as like crafting music and kind of like being his like people, session artists and whatnot. Yeah. It's a Zico track. So you know it's gonna kill the charts. But it's done well. I like it. I dug it. There's a lot to like about it, and it's like the kind of the shifts of his vocal styles. There's a little bit of singing, a little bit of rapping, a little bit, in the singing, it's a little bit of the high tones, a little bit of his like husky voice. And it's like, yeah, it's a nice mix of like tones and styles, which is nice. But yeah. Zico. Zico.
Zico?
Yes. So, all right, now I'm taking over the helm with a couple of tracks that caught my attention recently. This one dropped like today, like a couple of hours ago, I think. Because I saw the notification in my YouTube like while I was sitting down here for the past couple of hours getting ready. And it's a new femme track. Of course, it's been documented on this podcast. This podcast loves femme. I don't think I'm speaking out of turn in saying that. Historically, and this is an interesting track. It's a collaboration with an artist called Liz, who I imagine is relevant to other people that listen to to music. But I'm not familiar with her. No offense. I don't listen to the radio, and I'm I'm not hip with the kids, as it were. At least not as far as like pop musicians. Yeah, this is a cool track. It's a little bit of a pop ballad. It's more than it is necessarily a dance track. But it is pretty fun. It has some nice color to it. It's probably not going to be my favorite. It's not my favorite femme song, but it's not bad.
Yeah, no, it's not bad. But I think it's a track where you're trying to mix two sounds that people have probably compared a lot, like you said, because we're not very familiar with Liz. So people have probably been like, "Oh man, Liz's stuff is like so cool, and it kind of reminds me of Femme, or Femme kind of reminds me of Liz." I'm like, "Oh, you know what? Hey," and you hear it enough, like, "All right, let's do a track together," and it's kind of in that realm, kind of trying to be safe, all right, let's kind of mix our stuff in a cool way. Whereas, like, if it was a straight up femme track, it'd be so much more boombastic,
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't think it's bad. We come to that again, right? I don't, where it's like, I'm just not feeling it, but I don't think it's bad. And I still enjoyed listening to it. I still enjoyed my time listening to it. It's just not something I'm going to go back to like Fuck Boys Get Money or like a bunch of other fucking like femme songs that I really like.
Yeah, like it's not gonna be like all like the tracks would be kind of like even like recent tracks like the Boom Pow, I think it was it. There are There are better FM songs out there, but it's good to have them back. And doing this fun collaboration. It'd be cool to get them doing more. And maybe a full album again, which would be nice. Yeah, it's a cool track. I think there's not much else to say. It's a cool track. It's a cool collaboration. I'm glad to have Fem back. So yeah, let's move on to another cool comeback. I guess another comeback with one member. Which is interesting, kind of like a little symmetry for both of our parts. I didn't actually plan it that way. That was funny. EXID are back. This time minus Solji, who's trying to recover from hyperthyroidism, and which is going to take some time to recover from. And in this music world, you kind of, especially K-pop, you can't be away for too long. So they decided to have a comeback minus Solji, we'll talk about that, I guess, a little bit, but with a song called Night Rather Than Day, we have Hyerin, the cutest potato, our lovely potato, Hyerin taking over main vocal duties, and kind of people shifting around, other people taking more presence in the songs. Different style. So this is definitely a different style from EXID, and very welcome in the fact that it's not We Are 3.0. It's not or 4.0 at this point. It's definitely a nice shift in style. A little bit more of a kind of like chill song, a little bit a different musical like genre. I really like what they're doing with the tones of voices that they use. Like the beat is really nice. I like that Hani gets to do more singing in her like natural range, which is a little bit lower than you would normally get in like dance pop songs. And Hyerin does a fantastic job taking over the power vocal duties. As most people that follow EXID knew she would be able to, because like the only reason she is not the top lead vocalist is because Solji's also in the group. So it's like being a home run hitting outfielder on the same team as Giancarlo Stanton. Like it's like you could be the cleanup hitter that hits all the home runs, but Giancarlo Stanton's there, so you'll be the second best home run hitter on the team, but it doesn't mean you're not a great hitter. There's a lot of moments to really like in the song. It's a cool song, and I think one of the key moments that is like really sticking with me is I think Hani's, when she comes in with that butterflies in my mind kind of like solo part, with her tone of voice, it's just fantastic. It's just like something about that is just nice. I don't know. What do you think, Kaz?
I don't know. I super enjoyed it. I thought it was cool. Like, I liked a lot of it. Like, I don't know. Like, there are some parts in that beat that I'm not super happy with, but that happens in a lot of songs for me. But overall, I don't know. I liked it. It sounded different. It definitely sounded different, but that's like you said. There's a vocal range missing, or there's a different vocal arrangement because there's a person missing. But I still really, really had fun with it, and one of those. Track. You get one of those. You get. If you're an audio listener, I'm holding up my thumb.
Yes, I'm just. It was a cool track. And also, like, it's cool that they did this track. Like, I imagine one of the main sentiments has been that they imagine that Solji wouldn't want them to be held back because of her health recovery, and that's probably a big reason why they felt comfortable coming back without her while she's still healing. So we wish Solji all the best. Keep healing, fighting.
Shoot.
Yeah. Speaking of quality girl group songs, La Boom is back. I think continuing pretty consistent streak of like quality pop releases. La Boom came back with Hui Hui. Hui Hui. Off of their comeback Mrs. Kiss. And it's a fun pop song. Like it is basically just straightforward, fun, danceable pop song. It's pretty catchy, pretty fun. The visuals of the music video are pretty fantastic. Like, it's available on 4K. if you have a 4K TV, and hey, if you want to get your 4K HDR on, man, those blues and them reds and shit, amazing.
Stop.
Yes.
No.
But yeah, it's a fun track.
I just need people to stop talking about 4K like it's the new hot street drug. It's just a screen resolution. Stop.
Yes. But yeah, overall, it's just a really fun song with great visuals and fun danciness. What did you think, Kaz?
Sorry. I thought it was just I thought it was, in the best way I could say it, I thought it was good standard K-pop. Like, I thought it was like, it sounded like a very kind of standard girl group song. But I didn't think it was bad. Like, I still enjoyed it. I still really liked it. But it was so like, oh, I could kind of see almost any girl group in this, like, song, you know, like it wasn't particularly special to them, but I think they still rocked the fuck out of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, overall it's pretty good stuff. La Boom putting out some good stuff. Yeah. Last but not least, this one I'm not going to dwell too much on, but it's a fun song. It's on the Nugu radar alert. I've talked about Girls before. They're, a group that exists apparently still. Another one of those groups that you see the video and then you hear nothing about them, and then you wonder if they've been broken up, and then you suddenly hear updates, or nothing happens. The one thing I definitely know is that they dropped a member since their last comeback, but they're already, because might as well throw stuff out there. And throw things against the wall and see if it sticks. They're having Miso, the one member who most caught my attention, having a solo debut. Because why not? Yeah. With her track KKPP, Kilki Papa. And it's a fun song. It's like, it's a well-made song for something that's from a no-name agency and group. The video is a great value K-pop music video, but that is fine. They make good use of the sets they had access to, and they at least diversified their lighting schemes and costumes.
Mm-hmm.
So they made the most of it.
And they threw that Instagram filter on there.
Yep. Yeah. It's a way to kind of hide the fact that your camera is not very expensive or great. Just make it look.
Yeah, it looks pretty good, but I don't know. The thing that I noticed about this for me is I was just like, does she want to be Jessie or fucking Hyuna? And then I was like, I think she went for both.
Yeah. It's like she went for both. It's like, it's just in that wheelhouse, and it's fine. And I think like it's a fun track. I don't know that it's going to necessarily uh make too much headway, but I'm I will say that the international K-pop community, however you want to call it, a community, will eat it up, and that's fine, and that's fun, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching the video, and there's like a dance version of the video, which it's basically just
and you know what, the choreo is not that bad. It's not super great, like, but it's still pretty fucking fun, and I love fun choreo, dude.
Yeah,
like,
choreo,
and it's super fucking fun choreo.
It's fun.
Like,
choreo,
I will give it that.
Has a little bit of a has some power, has some swag, and that's nice. Swag. Yeah, it works well. I'm hoping for good things from girls, and from Miso, which we'll see. We'll see. We'll see if we get more. We'll have to wait and keep an eye on the Instagrams, and just keep an eye on them. But yeah, good luck to not just girls and Miso, but to all the girl groups struggling out there. Struggle is real. I understand. Well, I don't personally understand, but I sympathize. But yeah, that's it for what's new. We're gonna transition over to our headlines. So head on back here now. I mean, you're still here. Just stay there. Stay. Welcome back to the headlines. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about some topics, talking about some things that are going on in the world of East Asian pop culture. Some headlines here and there. Let's get it started. The first one I'm not going to actually dwell too much on. It's just I wanted to kind of highlight this really cool interview that K-Pop Lips did with Melanie Lee, who used to be in the group Chocolat. Before it disbanded, I think earlier this year, even though they haven't been doing anything for years. I think since before we started getting into K-pop. But this is a cool interview. This is a pretty cool, honest interview, and I enjoyed it. They get into some actual deep stuff into the behind the scenes stuff about the pressures of being in a girl group, especially when you're super young, and some of the psychological issues you might come through. It's a nice, in depth, and nice, straightforward, honest interview, and there's a lot to really like about, and there's a lot.
It's kind of one of those things, it's really, really long, right? And like Petey said, we're not going to go super in depth, but it's super interesting to kind of read through. I haven't finished reading all of it. I kind of read kind of the first half of this, and even in the first half, there's some really cool, interesting stuff. I also think it's also a tough read because, as the person said, it's kind of pretty much unedited. It's kind of just a transcript almost.
Yeah.
So there's some rough bits in here to read through, but I think it's a really good just open book on someone talking about this kind of stuff.
Yeah. And it's a lot of it's very honest, and a lot of stuff. It goes into a lot of stuff that a lot of people that actually pay attention and follow K-pop know is happening, and we know it to be true. It's something that we're familiar with. But it's good to have somebody who was on the inside. They were in the trenches, actually, saying a lot of these things and reporting on a lot of these things that we know about that we we know or at least have ideas that is happening in K-pop, so it's cool. Go check it out. Read the interview. It's really well made. Yeah. Moving on. Speaking of broken up girl groups, this one's a big bummer for me. Though I imagine it was the writing was on the wall for a little bit. First off, Crayon Pop are going. So let's say Crayon Pop are going to do that Kara thing where they're broken up but not really. That's the headline off of Asian Junkie. Basically, for those of us that follow K-pop, we knew it was ominous that their contracts had ended in March and there was no news to be found. Likely this meant their contracts all lapsed and they would be disbanding. However, Crayon Pop are saying that while everyone will do individual activities, they'd like to remain together as a group and do group activities. Things like that. Chromecast. Chrome Entertainment, on the other hand, says something else. They said that they're expired, blah, blah, blah. Mainly a technicality, though, since Sway was the last time I added. Basically, while they're all going to different labels, they want to remain together as a group and continue promotions at Crayon Pop. This is cool in theory, but it's sort of similar to what Kara claimed as not being disbanded. Like, only believe it when you see it. Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like you almost feel like it's nice that they want to put that sentiment out there. But you kind of just like you face with the reality of like it's probably just this is it for Crayon Pop, which is a bummer for me as I've been a pretty big fan of Crayon Pop ever since Baba Bar hit, and they were kind of I was so excited to see them at South by Southwest, and I've generally always enjoyed their music on some level. Yeah, I don't know. What are your thoughts, Cass?
I don't know. I wasn't as into Crayon Pop as you, so this is kind of standard K-pop fare at this point. They do. I think generally, right, what happens with certain groups like this is you kind of run a miss of like, oh yeah, we know we're super popular, but we all kind of have always had these other ambitions, and now we get to do them. So we'll kind of maybe do something every once in a while when we can get together. I don't know, the high pitchy voice thing. But Crayon Pop really did seem to enjoy it, and there could be there's an open-ended possibility, right? But it also always harkens back to the thing that I always talk about, which is like, man, why is it that other people, like, there have been other people who have done these things, right, where they're like, oh yeah, we're kind of all going off into other things and we'll do other stuff, and kind of once or twice a year you'll get that thing from them, and I don't know, it's really weird to think about that.
Yeah, I think hopefully well, we do get some more stuff from Crayon Pop, but it's tough because even though they had a pretty nice hit with they never were able to kind of replicate their one smash hit. In reality, they were pretty much a one hit wonder with, and they're probably for a lot of people are mainly going to still be remembered as the Helmet Girls, or if nothing, they'll be the group that Moon Hee-jun's wife used to be in. Like, Moon Hee-jun's wife used to be in Crayon Pop. And that's what they'll be known as. So it's tough, but it's understandable. It's sometimes when something isn't, quite working, and you kind of have all these other ambitions, kind of have to make hard decisions. Yeah. Love Crayon Pop. It's gonna be a bummer not to have them around. But yeah, moving on. As we should. All right. I like this one. Shannon's announced as MC for Daya's showcase, which was news to Shannon. This happened a little while ago. I think the showcase already happened or whatever. It was recently announced that Shannon, fresh off her K-pop star 6 turn, would be the MC for Daya's comeback showcase. That's fine and all, but MBK Entertainment apparently forgot to inform Shannon. To which she posted somewhere, I think on Twitter or somewhere, or maybe on Instagram. It says, "I like how I did," or probably on the picture. "I like how I didn't know that. I like how I didn't know that, and I just found out, and none of the people in my company cared to tell me. What WCF is my company doing?" In a way, I guess the kind of confusion is to be expected at this point, because it's MBK. And I also love that she kind of just straight up about it. Also, this happened, which is she liked a bunch of comments saying that she should leave MBK and company. So just I like Shannon is one of like she is Korean, but she is born. She's half British and she's born and raised in England. So her straightforward Britishness and maybe sometimes sarcasm comes out, and I like that about her. It's kind of gotten her in trouble sometimes, but I like more of like, you know, when certain artists slip up and just say the truth.
You forget where you at? Yeah, that moment.
It's like, you
forget you at work and you start talking to people like you out in the street. Which I will say has happened very recently for me at work. I had that moment where I may have forgot where the fuck I was, and I thought I was out in the street, and I started talking like I was out in the street. Then I looked around and I was like, "Oh shit! Oh fuck!" I was like, And so Shannon, I identify with what you got going on, girl. It happens to the best of us. You have these moments where shit creeps up on you, and then you like, nigga, what the fuck did you just say to me? Yo, I will slam hit you in the. Oh shit! Wait, I'm at work. Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. Yeah, no, we do have those in your size. Yes. Yeah. Okay. I can get that for you right now. Who was I talking? Don't worry about who I was talking to. It's okay, man. Yeah, I got you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you ever like
I got you.
Shannon? At some point, like. This is not the first time. Well, this is not the first. I think recently, just in the like past like month or so, it's not the only time we talked about a company announcing something and that not bothering to tell the person that they're announcing the thing about it. It's like your boss doesn't bother to inform you were scheduled to work something, and you got to find out about it like some other way because it gets announced in public. Yeah. Has that ever happened to you, Kaz?
There was a recent moment which I'm trying to keep the work face going, right? So there was a recent moment where we do a lot of switch shifts, and I did my switch shift, took my break, came back, was doing something else, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, you got to go back to your first post because the person out there can't do that post for too long." And then I just kind of had this moment of like, "Bitch, what the fuck did you just say to me?" Like, and I'm just like, "Why? There's that a thing?" While I was in the process of helping a customer. So at this moment now, because you have now informed me of some side shit that just happened, this person who I was helping no longer is getting helped, right? Because now I'm just like, hold on, this is a situation. We in DEFCON mode. What the fuck? What happened? like, why'd you even give me a cash register then? Like, I was here for maybe 8 sales. Like, what the fuck? Like, why? And now I got to recount this? I counted it. So now I got to recount it because now somebody else got to come over here. And what? Are you serious? Is this what we doing right now? It was just like, oh shit, you still here, aren't you? Okay, hold on. I'm gonna have to take a moment to collect myself.
Oh man, it's just those moments at work where you just don't understand what people are doing. So we feel you, Shannon. We don't understand what MBK is doing either. Just in general, just never. So keep liking them comments. Just send that message out there, like that you want your freedom. I understand. We got you. We feel you. We feel you. We see what you're doing. Yeah. Moving on. Speaking of this time, you know what? This time it's something that the company, it's not their fault. Company didn't mess up. Other people that were dumb. Fans mad at JYP Entertainment because people showed up at an airport unprompted to meet Twice. Twice's official Twitter posted that Twice would be traveling to Helsinki, Finland, in relation to Twice TV. Basically, just a picture of a boarding pass thing from Seoul to Helsinki. It said Twice TV 5 coming soon. Nothing else. What they didn't say is anything about activities there or asking Twice fans to come to the airport. It was just a picture of an airplane ticket. Well, fans got extra and showed up in droves anyways. Later, it was revealed that it was actually just a stopover as they caught a connecting flight to Zurich, Switzerland. Yes. So as Twice TV season 5 was going to be filming stuff, in Switzerland. This led people who may or may not have been prompted by certain sites to form some kind of angry mob against JYP Entertainment for screwing over these Twice stands. Even though nothing of the sort happened, the only thing JYP did was post a picture of a plane ticket. The fans invented the rest of whatever. Yeah. Basically, they posted a plane ticket. People showed up to the airport. Now they mad. Like, nobody told you to go to the airport. Ain't nobody told you.
Stop doing that shit.
Your damn self.
Right. Was there an official announcement? No. Well, what did they do? They just posted a picture of a plane ticket. Maybe they had that could have been an old ass plane ticket, motherfucker. You read the post. Maybe. I mean, not that the post really says anything about anything, but stop.
Showing up to the airport is weird, anyways. But I understand it's the thing. Yeah. It's not unique to K-pop. People show up, when teams win championships, they show up to the airport to greet them when they come back home. So it's but you gotta get your info correct. Make sure,
right. And then on top of it, it says soon, motherfucker. It said coming soon. That ain't mean today. That ain't mean when you fucking decide, oh, you know what? I'm off work Tuesday. Let's go. No, bitch. That says soon. That means wait your ass and find out when it's happening. Yeah. Stop, people. Stop. Don't be this. Don't be this. I need you to show this picture of these people again so we can say, don't be this. Yeah. Don't be this.
Yeah.
Don't be this. Don't be that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah, and
don't do that.
If you do play yourself like that, if it happens, and you figure out, oh, you done messed up, just take the L. Just take the L.
But see, that's the problem, dude. Is people don't know how to take the L anymore. People don't know how to take that L. Like you can't. People can't. They got to get extra about it, right? They got to get extra because now I got to get something out of this. Like, is you serious? I just lost? No, give me a point. And you're like, no, bitch, you lost. 100-0. That's the score. It's 100-0. That's the score. No, you gotta give me a point. Why? Because I deserve a point. No, the fuck you don't. You don't deserve shit. You lost. You showed up and you lost. Take the L. Go home. Pack your shit up. Learn a lesson. Learn a fucking lesson, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. So, just shaking our heads. Moving on. Speaking of somebody taking the L, just being a little extra and taking the L. As a result, creepy fan of Pristine's Kyokyung was stopped from proposing to her at a fan sign. Fan that has been harassing Pristine and Kyokyung for a while now, according to other fans. Recently, a fan has been harassing Pristine and Kyokyung for a while now, according to other fans. Recently, he posted that he was going to one of their fan sign-ins, and he had actually planned to propose to her, but was thankfully stopped by securities and managers. Which you can kind of see here. This is him. And you can see there are literally 3 managers hovering right over him, and he was gonna do the whole Love Actually sketchbook thing, but yeah, manager took that right out to his hands, chucked it right away, completely stopping him. Which, by the way, it's a great moment, and they stay right there. And I love it. They stay right there hovering over him. Not just one, but 2 managers. And with another one coming right over. Pretending to help out the other girls, but he's like looking right at him. Like, he starts to like, I'm looking over. Looks right at him. So,
my man right there, that's the thug, right? Because he leaned on the table too, looking. I'm like, go ahead, son. Go ahead, do something. Do something. I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting for this since I started this job. I've been waiting, dude. This is the moment right here. What you think I want to wake up at 4 a.m. to drive these girls to and from places? I've been waiting for this moment.
Please make my day. Please make my moment
right now. Do it. Fucking do it.
Yeah. As far as what that guy had planned, it was certainly something. This content, the content inside the sketchbook, which is just like you can see, it was he was gonna do the whole Love Actually thing, that whole bullshit, the Timothy Oliphant thing, because the Koreans love Love Actually. It says something, kind of some of the excerpts. Wrote something like, "If I marry you, do you want to ski resort with me? Kyokyung back hug is warm." But I suppose he says, "I want to do it with Kyokyung once. If Kyokyung climbed on my back." I saw it's just like I saw pregnant, and I swear to God, I almost threw up. Yeah, this is like, there's always fans that, it's like, dude even faked a Kyokyung message. He even faked a Kyokyung message to him to enhance the narrative to himself. He claimed that Kyokyung wrote "Love is enough" on his sketchbook, the one the bodyguard took away. He faked her handwriting. There's always fans that take things a step or 10 too far. Thankfully, this time at least the staff were tipped off and they were able to deal with it. So we gotta say, this guy was a creep. This guy's a creep. But you got to give it up for the managers and the people and the staff. They were on the ball from the get go. And I imagine he's probably not going to be able to get invited to any more fan signs now that they know who he is and what he looks like, and now that he's proven, like, now that he's like, all right, this is based on this. Like, we know you. No, you're not welcome anymore. Yeah. I don't know. What any further thoughts, Kaz?
It's just, I don't know. We've talked about it. We've talked about it a bunch of times. There's nothing more to really like. Nothing. There's not. I don't know. There's not much else to say. We've talked about these kind of situations again and again.
Yeah. So yeah. Again, another one. Don't be like this guy. Don't be this. Don't be that guy. Be the other guys, because they're on the ball. Don't be that guy. Be cool. Be cool like the people that.
I also love. There's just like a great fed up moment for one of those managers, because he's just like, the guy who keeps taking shit from him, because he's just like, fuck it, I swear to God, dude, Stop, dude. Like,
it's like, yeah, it's right
like
here,
that
right there. It's like
we've all had at work.
It's like he just puts his head in his hand, like fucking, like, all right, like she's gonna keep going. She's gonna keep talking. It's like, yeah, it's like she's coming in. It's like, what's going on? It's like, this motherfucker, like, this is like, it's like this motherfucker right here is just won't. Just like, God. It's like, all right, take your fucking high touch and go. Like, it's like, kind of like how that other guy with the hidden camera, just get your high touch and leave.
Yeah.
Like, get the fuck out of there. Yeah, don't be that guy. Be cool, like the guy that what's it? The guy that gave Shinbi a bottle of Absolute vodka. Now that's cool person at a fan sign. Just say, yo, you were drinking age now. Here, have some good stuff. Turn up, like. Have fun, just be the hookup,
Right.
Yeah, it's just, be cool, be cool when it comes to this fan signs. Don't be extra.
Never. Extra don't get you nowhere, though. That's the point. It's like extra doesn't get you. It just gets you known as the creepy guy, that's what he's now known as. No matter what his intent was, no matter how much in his head he thought that intent was cool, you're now that creepy fucko. Yeah. And that's all you're ever gonna be now.
Yep. Yeah. That's it. All right. We won't be extra. We're gonna be prompt and exact, and finish this episode nice and clean as we come into the end of another fantastic episode of Hallyujuku. Yeah, another nice episode. Kaz, what do you got going on? What's up? What's going on?
Not a fucking
world?
thing.
Yeah,
no,
PUBG.
I'm no, don't talk about it, dude. Yeah, I'm trying to put more focus on all the podcasts that I do and help them grow and do all that stuff. So if you listen to any of the shows that I do, if you like them, go check out my Patreon. It's really simple right now. It's mostly just support for helping me continue to do podcast stuff like that. I'm gonna add more stuff as I think of things, and it'll probably just kind of be really slow going, but just because I'm not that kind of stuff is something I have to learn how to do a lot better. And then once I hit a point where I can start doing more and more things, more YouTube things, more Twitch things, more streaming things, add more options of things that if you would like to help make them happen faster, that's what you can do. It's something I've been struggling with, trying to figure out what to do with for a long time. So for me right now, this is the best way. I know other people have had a lot of other advice for me that I just couldn't execute on. But so for right now, this is like kind of the best way that it works. So it's just like slowly building it up,
Yeah. I need to light a fire under my ass as well. I need to go out there. I need to start creating more stuff because I do have ideas. It's just I just need
I think we come up with ideas and we execute on too many of them, and they don't stay thoughts long enough because we've been taught too much by the creative process to execute, right? And then it just sometimes things should stay in that thought tank for a little bit and then they come out a lot better, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to not execute so quickly anymore. Trying to build a little bit more.
So keep track of all those things. He's at King Kaz. You can keep track of his about.me and his Twitter and his Patreon and all the things. I'm Petey Brave. The show is Hallyujuku. That's Hallyujuku.com. That's kpoppodcast.com. Rebellion.net for this and other shows. Check us out on all over the place. Subscribe, like, share, do the things I'll like keep an eye on the YouTube and all the things. If we do more things, I'm thinking like again, I've got all these things where it's like I'm still like formulating, but I want to like put some things into motion that I think are ready. But we'll keep an eye on all. Just subscribe to the YouTube and subscribe to our podcasts wherever you have a podcatcher. And that, maybe even give us a review. That helps out a lot. I don't think we have much as far as reviews. I would love to get something up to at least get to know that there's people out there. I know we have Time Jumper on there. He made sure to tell me that he listens to the show, which is awesome. Like he's not much of a K-pop guy, but he makes sure to listen to our show. So shout out to Time Jumper. We all love him. But yeah, that's it. Do all the things, subscribe, like, share. Until next time, hasta los huevos. Annyeong. Fighting.
Well, didn't I tell you? Don't you know?